Well, I had a question for you. What made you start YouTube?
So that's I've tried YouTube before and it was difficult. I mean, I lost my passwords and got locked out. It was just crappy. But after the Chiefs beat the Eagles in the Super Bowl a couple years ago, I figured, oh, 2 years ago, I figured I'd try again one last time, and it has gone awesome. We actually just passed 10K last night,
I
and
saw
we're almost
that.
at
Congrats.
we're 300 away from 11. Thank you. So yes, it's going much better. Glad I started that.
Have you like started monetizing your content?
I have, yeah, it's
How old
awesome.
are you? You're like 15?
15. Hmm.
Yeah, I'm 18. But cuz you're like a freshman or sophomore this year.
Freshman, yeah.
Oh, okay. So you're like just started your high school years.
Mm-hmm.
I just started my college year, so we're both freshmen in something.
All right, college. All right, that's
What was
good.
something you had?
So DJ Humphries, he just got signed. He's a former Pro Bowler, 30-year-old off the Arizona Cardinals. He tore his ACL. How good do you think he's gonna be tonight against the Chargers?
That was a question I was had as well. I don't. I said in a tweet a while back. I don't expect him to play good. He's gonna get holding. He's gonna get. I mean, I could be wrong, but he's gonna get some bad flags. He might allow a couple pressures. The whole goal with rushing him back is because of how bad Wanye Morris has been. He's been. I don't know. He's been really bad. Jawan Taylor hasn't been the greatest either, mainly because of penalties still, but he's even done better than Morris. But I think DJ Humphries will be mediocre today. I wouldn't expect too much. He's rushed back after an awful knee injury. My TV is just um. So rushing him back, I don't think was a good idea. But with how important that blind side of the line has been, I think he'll be for Chiefs standards, I think he'll be fine. But if you're like any other fan base if you're not a fan of the Chiefs, you're gonna be like, oh, he was awful. Y'all are still bad. His line, he's still bad and whatever. I'm like, he got rushed back after an ACL tear. What did you expect?
See, I like DJ Humphries. Obviously, I'm not expecting him to be a superstar tonight. This is his first game back in a while. And I don't expect him to be a superstar ever. I mean, he's 30 years old now, but I do think he can be a little better than Orlando Brown Jr. I do think that.
Orlando was
Here.
okay. So I used to talk the most crap on Orlando, but recently I've been watching a lot of the Bengals games and that offense. He really hasn't been bad. He was bad as a Chief at allowing pressures and everything, but Mahomes was always good at avoiding sacks, so he was always able to get out of that. But Jawan Taylor, well, I don't know if this is I can't remember, but Jawan Taylor had I think less pressures allowed last year than Orlando. I may be wrong, but I remember seeing something through the off season. So Jawan Taylor, if it wasn't for his false starts, his uh, alignment, is it, or illegal formation, which
Hmm.
is the stupidest penalty in my opinion. I don't know how you do that many times, but uh, Orlando, I think the Chiefs should have re-signed because he is above mediocre. So after seeing how bad the left tackle has been the past couple of years, I think the Chiefs made a mistake in letting Orlando go. Now, the
I'm pretty sure they tried.
money
I'm pretty
wise,
sure they tried.
they made the right choice. They made the right choice, but they've been bad at replacing them.
Yeah, I think they tried to re-sign him, and I think he wanted a bunch more. If I'm remembering correctly,
Oh,
I think they did try to resign
yep.
him,
They tried to make him like the highest paid left tackle in the league or
and he
something at a
still
time.
didn't
And
want
then,
it.
yeah, he decided to play on the franchise tag. And then he got less money because he was bad that last year.
And then he went to the Bengals and signed I think it was a smaller contract. And if he would have stayed with the Chiefs, he would have been winning more Super Bowls and got a lot more money. So I think he made a big mistake there as well.
Yep. Yeah, it's like the Tyreek Hill situation. You win
Yeah.
one, and then you go in. Well, Orlando never won one. Never mind. I take that back. Orlando still hasn't won a Super Bowl yet.
He
Because
wasn't with us with the Eagles.
nope, that was
I guess
Donovan Smith. Was it, or was that?
I think he
No,
won
no,
with
no,
the
no, no. He was. He was. Yeah,
yeah
Donovan Smith was the 49ers.
yeah
For some
yep
reason, I thought the 49ers Super Bowl, the roster hasn't locked into my brain yet. Yeah, so yeah, because he was with the 0 sacks. Now that I think about it,
yeah
because the whole O line had the 0 sacks.
T-shirts
Yep.
yeah
Okay. Because I remember going to that parade with
mm.
Leo Chanel pulling himself onto the bus. Gosh, that was
So
amazing.
Super Bowl predictions. What are we thinking there?
I mean, the Chiefs, once they make playoffs, best team in the league by far. I have Chiefs and I want to say Chiefs and Lions, but I think it's going to be Chiefs and Eagles again.
I say Chiefs and Lions. That's what it was last year. It was so close, and I'm gonna say it again. Chiefs and Lions.
I mean, actually, while we're recording this, I think Eagles are losing to the Panthers, so I might take retracting that statement. But the Lions are also barely winning games versus bad teams, but they're not getting criticized for it. They're them in playoffs. I mean, we saw them. They choked versus the 49ers, but they played great. They still played great, just choked it in the second half. Jameer Gibbs had the fumble, that weird like drop by JMO.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the Lions had their chances to go to the Super Bowl, and if they would have made the Super Bowl over 49ers, I think the Chiefs would have beat the Lions by more than what they barely beat the 49ers because Mahomes wasn't going to lose to them twice.
You know,
But
they had that game against the 49ers, the
yeah,
Lions.
Kadarius holy, I've seen like really bad games by wide receivers actually recently with Quentin Johnson, who's having a good year, by the way. He's having a good year. He has one awful game. Like he had like 6 targets, 3 drops, and 1 catch.
Mm.
That was awful. But until that performance, he's been solid. He's been really good. And I keep seeing like people clowning him in the NFL meme pages. I'm like, he's been good this year. Like Lad McConkey is obviously popped off, but he's
Everybody got mad at me for wanting the Chiefs to draft Lad McConkey.
yeah, I didn't want him the first. So I was happy with Worthy, and I think Worthy will do good. But you have Rasheed Rice, who I think could give Worthy the most experience, like most tips and everything, because Rice was in his spot last year. The Chiefs weren't. Chiefs. Well, Andy Reid has never been known to use rookie wide receivers much. First round, second round does not matter. But Worthy's had to take a lot. He's basically there's only like what 2, 3 wide receivers from the Chiefs training camp that's still healthy, because
Mm-hmm.
McCool got placed on IR, and then the Chiefs bringing up Ramingo. I always pronounce his name wrong. I can't say his first name, so
Nico Ramikio.
yep, Nico.
Yeah,
Okay,
I like him. I hope he does good tonight. Yeah.
I like him, but I always like Justin Ross a little bit more, so I was a little confused that they chose Ramingo over Ross, but I don't. It's mainly for special teams, so it doesn't worry me too much. He'll probably just be the returner since Hardman was the primary returner, wasn't he?
Yeah.
I know he
I
was the
think
primary
so,
punt
yeah.
returner, and then it was they kept switching the kickoff returners. This was like
Didn't they
T
just
Ryan
stash
and
McCool
Steele.
on IR?
Yeah, they just put him on IR like
Yeah.
yesterday, I want to say,
Mhm.
which hurts because I'm a big Hardman fan. Have been since his rookie year. My second or third Chiefs jersey was a Hardman Super Bowl, and
From Super Bowl 54.
yep, that was my like second, third ever Super Bowl, and it signed by McCool.
Ooh.
So because I went to training camp one year, so
Oh yeah. People
so
get a
he's
lot
one
of
of my
shit.
favorite players, and it made me really excited when he got traded back. Well, but oh, who do you think is the Chiefs' biggest threat? AFC, NFC? Doesn't matter.
NFC. It's probably. I said Lions because I really want them to to go to the Super Bowl, being that I'm here in Michigan. But I think the real biggest threat is the Eagles in the NFC. And AFC, I'll probably go Steelers.
Steelers. That's not bad. I think I always want to say Buffalo, but until they prove that they can beat the Chiefs in playoffs, I don't think I'll ever say Buffalo.
Hmm.
My biggest fear overall wise is probably, I guess, the Ravens, honestly. The Ravens defense looks awful, but their offense looks so much better than it was last year. And with the Chiefs defense getting worse and worse every week, it looks like after the Jalen Watson injury, I just don't know how the Chiefs are going to be able to stop Zay, Deontay, which Deontay doesn't even look like he wants to play for the Ravens. Ravens suspended him a game after declining to go out on the field.
I saw that. I didn't know much about it because I'm not a Ravens fan, but I did
Yeah,
see
I
that.
was I was confused at it first because I'm like, he played that game because I saw him play that game, and then he was like that last like drive or whatever they had, he refused to go out, so that's what it came from. So I'm like, oh, okay. Um, what do you expect from the Chiefs tonight? You expect another 2-point win or blowout finally?
Well, I expect a close game because there's no reason not to think that, especially this is a divisional game. But I expect them to be tough tonight. Jim Harbaugh, tough coach. This Charger team is a tough Charger team. They need to be tough tonight, score a lot of points, and be great defensively.
Yeah, I think defensively with the Charles and Minihue coming back, and I really hope they get Steven Nelson next week.
Mm-hmm.
Uh Whenever I started watching the Chiefs back in like 2011, 2012, I remember drafting him, and he was like, I had his like shirt whenever they made like the shirts jerseys.
Mm-hmm.
Like I still have it somewhere, but it doesn't fit me anymore, obviously. But Nelson was always a fun guy to watch. He was bad as a Chief, but he's been a good starter for the past like decade now. So, and that's with Snead leaving, the Chiefs haven't had a veteran corner because McDuffie's only in his third year. He's still making those really bad mistakes we saw versus Broncos. Um, that he was just getting absolutely torched by Cortland Sutton, which was very hard to watch it because I cannot stand Cortland Sutton. I really can't. But he always finds a way to destroy us. Even if the Broncos are losing by 100, he'll have like 200 yards.
Mm-hmm.
Just so not fun to watch. But
Yeah.
I think the main thing with Nelson will be his veteran presence. He may not be good anymore. But he's better than Nazi and might be better than Joshua Williams. Joshua Williams had really came into his own the last, I want to say, week, 2 weeks. And it's been fun watching him again because size and like raw talent, Joshua Williams looks amazing. It's like 6'3". I want to say 6'2", 6'3".
Yeah,
Uh,
I like Joshua Williams. I don't know. The corner room is just struggling. That's why we need to bring in somebody.
yep. See, I really wish they could have traded for Snead back, but obviously they wouldn't have. But the money he got from Tennessee and now on IR, it's kind of sad to watch.
My bad if I seem if I'm blinking so much and if I'm
You're
talking
good.
slow because I'm kind of like I don't know. I was kind of napping and I kind of got up. I'm a little tired. I don't know why.
I'm good, man.
Anyway, you got
Ugh.
any more questions?
Um, well, maybe some personal ones.
Sure.
What do you want to do after high school? You have 10,000 subs. You can dang near make this full time. You're finally old enough to start working at places like McDonald's. Are you going to do any of that or start trying to
So
do this full
yes,
time?
yeah. Well, I want to try. Obviously, I want to do this, and I'm going to keep trying at that. And that is kind of the goal right now is to do this. But obviously, I think in about a year, I'll go get a job because that's just the thing to do when you're a teen. But uh, if this can kick off, then yeah, this is what I would want to do.
Yeah. So, I mean, you've only been at it for like a year, a little over a
Year and a half, yeah,
year
not
and a
even
half.
two.
So, and you're gotten 10,000 subs in a year. That's amazing. Like it takes some people like for like 5 years to finally start popping off. You start popping off early,
It's
so
Chiefs
that's great.
Kingdom. That's what they do.
Yeah, I'm not much on Twitter anymore, so I never. I'll get on Twitter for like once every like during the games, but that's about it anymore.
Mm,
Or the C NFL news because for some reason it always gets posted on Twitter before anything else.
yeah.
But um, is there any like career path outside YouTube that you're wanting to do?
I've always liked airplanes, so I could see myself being a pilot if YouTube didn't work out. But I mean,
I
YouTube's going pretty good,
I have a
So
friend actually who he's I think he just turned 19. He got his pilot license at 19. I thought you had to be like 21 for some reason. But
that's
and
nice.
then I have my friend's brother. He's going into the Air Force and he goes to boot camp this summer, this coming up summer. So pilot always seemed cool. If it wasn't that I was so scared of heights, I that would have been really cool. I
Yeah.
always ended up my my major is sports marketing. I I don't exactly. I always wanted to do like the broadcasting stuff, like that you see like Troy Aikman and all the like former players do. Like that was always my
Mhm.
dream, just talk about sports all day, every day for a job. Because I love talking about basketball, football. Heck, I will try to talk baseball and hockey to some people. I don't
Mhm.
watch either of those sports, but I will try. But uh, sometimes life is just changes because I went from wanting to do that to police officer to a bunch of other stuff.
Yeah, that's how I've gone. I wanted to be a police officer at one point too, but
See, that
it
was like
changed.
me in kindergarten, and then it came back senior year, and then I'm like, well, I'm gonna just finish school and see what happens after that. So,
Mhm.
who do you think is gonna be the player of the game tonight?
Player of the game. Ooh,
Not named Patrick or Chris Jones, because those two easily have a very good chance to always be it.
Noah Gray. I
Noah
think I'm
Gray.
gonna say Noah Gray.
He's. I really like Noah Gray as a rookie, and he had it was the Raiders game in Las Vegas. He had a bad drop, and then then a couple plays later, he got his first and only touchdown of his rookie year. And I'm like,
Hmm.
I want to see him go on, and then he's improved every single year.
He's doing good. He
Yeah,
really is.
yeah. I forgot how many yards he has. He has like 500 yards, I want to say,
Something like that. Yeah.
but he has more touchdowns this year than he did in his career.
Well,
But
since we're on the topic of tight end, then Noah Gray is really popping off, and he could. It's seeming like he could be the guy after Travis Kelsey. So, what are we gonna do with Jared Wiley?
okay, Jared Wiley, I loved him in preseason. He was like a draft crush of mine that the Chiefs drafted. Um, I don't know because Jody Fortson. I think Jody Fortson is. I don't know why the Chiefs brought him back. I really like Jody Fortson, but he's injury prone. He can't go a
Mhm.
full season without something like season-ending injury. So
Yeah.
I think he gets canned, and Jared Wiley takes that third tight end spot next year. So it'd be like what I'm hoping for is like a Travis Kelsey. Rookie year got hurt. It wasn't doing much while he was healthy, but rookie year gets hurt. Next year he comes back and is a stud. Obviously he won't be much because we still have Kelsey and Gray above him. But
Mm.
if he can use his size, he's like 6'5", 6'6" almost. I don't know. I don't know the exact heights on
Yeah,
many
I know
people.
for sure. He's tall. I know that.
Yeah, he's tall, he's fast, he's strong. We saw it in preseason. He was able to make some killer grabs, but just needs to prove. Doesn't matter if you can't prove it in a regular season. Just like Justin Ross, always did good in preseason and training camp, but never got anything in regular season.
Right. Yeah.
But I mean, oh, what do you think happens to Sky Moore this year? At the end of this year, because there's no way they put him on IR for a core muscle injury.
Yeah, that was one of the questions on my list. Yeah. So I think I made a video on this, or I put it in a video a couple days ago. It's a difficult situation because I think he has one more year left on his rookie contract, right?
This was his third year.
So yeah, one more year, right?
Yeah.
And uh,
At Eagles, he was a rookie. Yep.
yeah. So yeah, I mean, I don't think he's going to be back next year. There's really no reason to keep him. He's had 3 years. I think that's more than enough to uh, prove yourself. And the Chiefs might try and keep him because he's still under contract, but I just don't see a reason why to.
Yeah,
He's
they
really
kept
not doing
Clyde,
anything.
and I always felt bad for Clyde. I always really liked them, but I don't think they keep Clyde next year either. They re-signed him, and he's been healthy scratches ever since coming off the pup list. Well, the
How many years did they put
non-injury.
on that contract they gave him again?
It was 1 year. It was like a 1 year veteran. It was like a minimum, I think. So he really isn't costing anything. He could get dropped. I've been waiting for him to come back because I like Clyde. I really do. I loved when he came in for Pacheco, couple like last year, and he did good. I loved him his rookie year. Got a hoodie and shirt for him as well, and everything. I love the LSU team. I'm a
Yeah.
Mizzou fan because I go to Mizzou and always been raised around Columbia. I live like 30 minutes from it. But that LSU team was so much fun to watch. Prime Joe Burrow, JJ, Jamar,
Hmm.
Clyde. So I forgot the defense they had, but that defense was nasty. But
Yeah.
watching the Natty game was something, and watching Clyde, he was always a really good receiving back, and we never used him for it. But every time we did use him, the flashes that we got from him were amazing. His catch last year versus the I want to say it was Patriots, that leaping grab he had. He was always a good receiving back, and we just never used him for it.
I can't answer on if we're gonna bring him back until I know if we're gonna keep Kareem Hunt. Do you think we keep Kareem Hunt for next year?
Oh, that one I don't know. I want to say yes, just because he's still on pace. I think he's still on pace for 1,000 yards, and he would be the first Chief since Kareem Hunt to do that. His rookie Kareem Hunt, anyways.
So
But
I would say if we kept him, then maybe Clyde doesn't come back. But I could see him coming back. Clyde could be a good third string running back if he was healthy. But
yeah,
they
I
probably
don't know if
wouldn't
you
keep him.
consider him a third down back like P. Ryan, McKinnon. That's the only bad thing because with I want to say whenever we had McKinnon, Pacheco, Clyde, McKinnon, Clyde
Mhm.
and Pacheco were the 1 and 2 down backs, and then McKinnon was always the third.
Yeah.
I don't think we would use Clyde as much of a third down back, sadly. I mean, we could obviously, but I think he would be good at it because he's good. He can catch well. He's not fast by any means, but he can catch. He has
Mhm.
chemistry. He has really good chemistry with Kelsey, with Mahomes, with a lot of people on that offense. He's a great guy to have in the locker room. I would honestly rather have him than Carson Steele. And I don't
I
hate
like
Carson
Carson
Steele,
Steele.
but I like him. I like him as a person. As a player, not as much. I mean, those two fumbles he had early were just bad, and then because didn't he have like the one game before Hunt got? It was the one game that Hunt was still in practice squad that he was the starting running back, and I mean, he didn't do bad. He had like 66 rushing yards,
Hmm. Something like
but
that.
I just don't think as a fullback, fine, keep him. He's good. But as just a normal halfback, I don't think he brings anything to the table. He's not that much of a receiver. He's he's strong, but he's honestly not strong enough to be a full-time fullback. His blocking is awful. His pass protection is awful. I mean, he can learn. He's just a rookie. So I don't want to sound like I'm hating on him too hard, but uh, I don't I don't think I would keep Steele over any of those running backs, honestly. Pacheco is, I mean, Pacheco, the Chiefs probably won't be able to bring back, but because even though running back market is tanked, he'll still get more than what the Chiefs are wanting to pay. Because I reckon he'll get like 9 to 11 mil a year.
If the Chiefs want him, they'll pay him. I
Yeah.
like Pacheco, but I could see Veach not re-signing him. He has like 2 more years though, right? 2 more years left.
He was a 7th round pick, so for Eagle. Nope, he has next year. Next year is his
Next
last
year.
year.
So did he play against? Was he on our team with the Eagles?
Yep, he
He
did.
was. Oh yeah,
Yeah,
I remember that
I
because he
remember he had
slipped.
a
He
rushing
slipped.
touchdown. I remember.
Yeah, and then he slipped on his
Yep.
celebration. Yep, I
And then he
remember
did
that.
the Lil Uzi Vert just won a rock celebration, I think.
I remember that. Yeah. So the Chiefs probably won't bring him back because he's a tough running player, and players like that get injured quite a bit, and he is getting injured quite a bit. Last year, I think he had.
Yeah.
I can't remember exactly what.
It wasn't a
He,
bad injury. He was only out for
it wasn't bad.
a
Yeah.
couple weeks. It was only like 2 weeks. But
Yeah. But players like that, they just don't last extremely long. So they probably won't bring him back because of that. Uh, but they might bring him back. I don't know. I like Pacheco. I really do.
yeah, I love Pacheco. I have a Super Bowl jersey. I have posters and everything of Pacheco. Bro's amazing. I don't think I would. I'd rather have Pacheco than Trey Smith, but without Trey Smith, Pacheco ain't gonna do that much.
Yeah. So you got any more questions? I'm out.
Um,
We'll
actually,
talk after a little bit off camera, but
all right. Where did you get all your Chiefs gear back there?
oh my. So
See, some of
over
that stuff has
here,
always interested me watching your videos. I'm like, where does he get it?
so some of the stuff over here I got from the Hall of Fame shop. And then that light, I see that's a light that can turn on, but I've never turned it on before. I want to start, but I need to get an extension because that can't reach the outlet.
Oh,
I got that from Amazon, and the rest of this stuff you see Amazon and Fanatics.
Fanatics.
Yeah,
I've always
Fanatics
had like
is
mixed relationships with Fanatics. It's always like 50-50. Because sometimes my stuff will like get here and the box is all crumbled. But
yeah. I think they did that to. I think that when that pennant came, I think the box was demolished.
yeah, I hate shipping just in general. The only place I like shipping is like UPS or whatever. I hate FedEx and everything. But my final question for the night is score prediction.
I was just talking to somebody about this last night. What did I say? I think I said 28-24 Chiefs.
28-24. That's not bad. I think the Chiefs finally have a shootout, but I want to say 38-32.
All
I think
right.
D-Hop finally goes off and Worthy goes off again.
Yeah, that'd be nice to get a stress-free game. Well, that's not
Stress
really stress-free. That's still close, but
depends. Last time they played the Chargers, it was 17-10 for like the whole second half.
yeah.
Nobody
I
was
just want a
scoring.
stress-free game. That's all I want from the Chiefs.
I badly want a stress-free game. My heart races too much.
Yeah. That's another reason why Sky Moore might not be on this team next year. He raises everybody's blood pressure.
His first snap in ages against the Chargers, and he comes in and drops a simple first down. I'm like, why?
Brett Veach has got to be tired of him too. I'm not trying to bash Sky
Did you
Moore,
see the
but
clip that he like threw down? Well, like
I think
some
he banged
guy.
his hand on the table
Yeah.
after he dropped the pass.
Yep.
Yeah.
That was. Oh, he was like he must have realized that he shouldn't have traded down and should have gotten George Pickens.
George Pickens. That would have been
That
nice.
upsets me all the time, and the fact that we took I think it was like McCole Hardman over DK Metcalf or somebody. I mean, I like
And
McCole, but
instead of CEH, we could have drafted T. Higgins.
yeah, or Jonathan Taylor even.
Yeah, so we've had some misses.
Yeah, the first round is usually where where Veach misses sometimes, but he's done
But he
really
had that
well in
really
the
good
late.
draft in 2022
Yep,
with Trent.
he's drafted very very well in like second round and later. Like
Yeah.
the first round is always a big hit or miss. Just is how the first round goes. Because a lot of these guys are first round talent, but it might not translate to the NFL. These other guys that you're barely seeing in like the later rounds are like, okay, the talent's there, but will he be able to use it in the NFL? And they get their shot. It's the people drafted in the later rounds, mentally, they want it more. These first round guys, some of them are cocky. Um, the people that like demand where they go and stuff, like John Elway and who was it? Eli Manning. Those guys, I don't ever like them. I always hope they do bad. Eli Manning did good, but well, if you ask the right guy, I guess you ask the wrong people, and they say he's not a Hall of Famer.
Yeah, people say different things about Eli. I mean, he did win what, 2 Super Bowls, right?
Yep, he ruined the only undefeated season from New England.
Well, I want to thank you for making the time to come on the show.
Yeah,
30
thank you for
minutes,
having me, man.
of course.